Welcome to the Break Vape podcast. I am your host, Tami Ernst. If you are an overwhelmed mom struggling to quit vaping after trying everything in your power to quit, then you are in the right place, mama. Each week on the show, we analyze stress, vaping, and addiction from a place of zero self-judgment so that you can build up the skills you need to ditch your vapes for good. Are you ready? Let's get to work. Hey mamas, welcome back to the podcast. I know that so many of you are thinking about quitting vaping and are wondering how to do it. We have a 6-step formula for quitting here at Break Vape. And this week, I'm resharing the episode that goes over that formula so you know exactly what to expect. Let's go. This is a strategic and unique episode that will be able to help anyone who wants to quit vaping but isn't sure where to start. I have a 6-step formula that I guarantee will help you if you do the work. So grab a pen and paper or re-listen to this episode a few times to really get into how to follow the steps. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me or send me a message via our Facebook group that you can find on the website. So let's dive right in. Number 1, recognize that you are not the problem. The product is the problem. I want you to understand that it is essential and okay to hate the product, aka the vape, but under no circumstances should you ever hate yourself. Okay, I'm going to say that again. You are not the problem. The product is the problem. You need to hate the product, not yourself. Number 2, vapes do not control you. What? I know this one seems so far-fetched for those of us who have been a slave to vapes. Believe me, I have been there. But you have authority over addiction and you are not a lost cause. You have ownership, authority, power, control, responsibility, restraint, accountability, tenacity, and dignity around your own thoughts. Just know that you quitting vaping forever is literally one decisive thought away, followed by some work that begins with mastering your mind by setting many achievements. I'll explain more on this in a minute. This is so important that you learn to trust yourself. And again, it's so important that I will go back to this in the next few steps. So let's move on to number 3. Think of what your mini challenge is going to be. And here is the key. Make it something educational that is not based on deprivation. Instead of setting yourself up to feel deprivation that is cued by withdrawal symptoms, I want you to set the goal of practicing gentle moderation mixed with education. Back when I was trying to quit vaping by white knuckling it without a plan, without my system, without a relapse strategy, without self-compassion, and without knowing anything about how to celebrate wins, I would just create small random goals that would result in actually making me want to vape more. Maybe some of you have done this. I used to let my vapes run out of juice or batteries with the promise that that would be my last one. And then when they inevitably died, I would find myself out buying another one. Who can relate to that? Another thing I used to do with very good intentions was to set time goals for how long I could go without vaping. For instance, I would try to never vape in the car, right? So that I would have maybe 3 solid few hours without access to a vape. Or I would tell myself that it was okay to take 3 puffs on a vape instead of 5 whenever I did allow myself to have them. But this deprivation tactic failed miserably for me every single time. And do you know why I think I failed? And it took some self-reflection to figure it out. And the reason was I always was giving my power over to the vape. I made it so incredibly tempting to my brain that keeping it around became something that was okay and something to celebrate when I did cut down for just a bit. But for me, cutting down just a bit like that without tying it to anything else, that tactic never turned out to be sustainable. So I always wound up embodying it as a failure and a shame spiral instead of a win. Now here's where it switches. Luckily, I learned to basically pattern trigger my attempts to not vape with something educational, and I highly, highly recommend that you do this too. Here is exactly what to do in step 3. Set a small goal of moderation where you tell yourself that you won't vape for 1 hour. Then spend that hour researching articles on people who have died or been badly injured by vaping. Spend that time listening to podcasts like this one. Spend that time looking up addiction and the dopamine hijack that goes on in your brain. Or perhaps you want to look at the market cap for big tobacco and see how every cent you spend on vaping is turned around to fund marketing vaping to kids. The possibilities here are like a shining beacon of educational euphoria because you will have thoughts. And if you are anything like me and most people who are on the other side of their vape addiction, those thoughts will be so negative that they will stir up an array of feelings like guilt, anger, fear, anxiety, and perhaps even astonishment that as a culture, we systematically instill addiction tactics into our kids from a very young age. It's amazing what you can learn in an hour. Step number 4 is to sit with these feelings for 10 minutes without trying to repress them, numb them, or push them away. Just let yourself be anxious. Let yourself be mad. Let yourself be scared. Let yourself be sad. But do not beat yourself up. Remember, if you are going to feel negative, the goal here is to get upset at the product, not at yourself. Step number 5 is to manage those feelings and emotions. Usually, when you sit with them for a bit, your body will try to cue you to do something else because your brain literally does not want you to feel any negative emotion at all. It just wants to hide in a cave and feel safe. But instead of that, you have to do something else. I want you to literally imagine what a particular feeling in your body really is for you. For example, when I lay down with my eyes closed and take long, deep breaths and think of anxiety on purpose, I see it as orange. It looks widespread throughout my body, like a system of nerves, and it vibrates really quickly. And then when I think of overwhelm, I see it as black, spiky, and it looks like a brick, and it feels very heavy in my chest. So one thing you can do here is to replace those visualizations with big positive emotion like joy, which I picture as yellow, light, airy, and I imagine that it fills up every cell of my body. Or when I feel control on purpose instead of overwhelm, I picture my mind as bright green and it gives way to a very grounded, confident feeling throughout my body. Everything I just talked about here is just skimming the surface of how to manage your emotions. Does it sound a little woo-woo to you? Don't worry if it does. I think nearly everyone has that reaction until they literally try it on over and over, and then they see how it works for themselves. Sort of like how meditation is scientifically proven to relax your parasympathetic nervous system. So maybe it sounds a little nutty to you at first, but you know what is actually much more bizarre? Picking up a vape and literally poisoning yourself and others around you. And unfortunately, that bizarre behavior seems so much more normal than strategically dealing with stress and anxiety by deliberately and skillfully learning how to feel your feelings. Curiosity and control over your emotions are the key components of overcoming any addiction. So actually do this, okay? Re-listen to this episode. Email me if you need clarity on the steps, but actually do this. Practice this regimen of emotional management until you start to see the effects, even if it is 10 minutes a day. Step number 6 is to congratulate yourself for the hour that you just spent building trust with yourself by actually doing what you told yourself you were going to do. When you do this exercise of practicing gentle moderation mixed with curiosity, education, and feeling your feelings, you are actually creating agency over your addiction. That is amazing. That is something to celebrate. So even if you pick your vape up after the hour went by, you will have still successfully taken a step to quitting for good by creating that agency for yourself. And this can apply to so many other areas of life besides quitting vaping too. So to be concise, so you know what I mean about agency, I'm going to define it in this sense. So agency, in the sense of what I'm talking about, is, quote, the sense of control that you feel in your life, your capacity to influence your own thoughts and behavior, and have faith in your ability to handle a wide range of tasks and situations. Your sense of agency helps you to be psychologically stable, yet flexible in the face of conflict or change. And that's the end of the definition. There you have it, my friends. Here are 6 steps to learn how to quit vaping when you don't know where to start. And I know that's a really quick, fast episode like most of mine are, because I just can't fill it in with fluff usually. I just love to get right to the strategy. This is 6 steps, a formula that you can follow when you have no idea where to start learning how to quit vaping for good. The way that we do that is to create agency for yourself. It is a wonderful thing to do that. So now I wonder, how many times can you do that for yourself? Start with an hour a day and let me know. This journey is not an easy one, so remember to be kind to yourself and know that you are worthy of living addiction-free. You are strong, capable, and most importantly, you are not alone. Do these 6 steps consistently, and you will become strong enough to have your own back. For more juicy tips on how to quit vaping for good, please reach out to me at www.breakvapes.com. That's www.breakvapes.com. And let's get you started living vape-free ASAP. Okay, guys, make sure that you celebrate your wins and victories, no matter how small, and start learning how to trust yourself by creating agency. You have got this. That's it for this week, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in from all over the world, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in today. If you like what was offered in today's show and want even more support, head over to www.breakvapes.com and schedule your free strategy session to discover exactly how my proven system can help you ditch your vapes for good. Bye for now.